I am pleased to welcome and introduce to you Joy Romero, VP of Technology and Innovation at Canadian Natural Resources Limited and a partner at CDL Rockies. As a reminder, CDL is a not-for-profit organization, and we can't do what we do every day without the support of our partners. And so I'll take this opportunity to thank you, Joy, and Canadian Natural Resources for your ongoing support of CDL Rockies. Joy has been with Canadian Natural Resources for just over 20 years, where she's worked continuously to advance collaboration among stakeholders to further the adoption of technology in the energy industry. In addition to her role at CNRL, Joy is the president of the Clean Resource Innovation Network and the vice chair of the Petroleum Technology Alliance of Canada. She is a member of the Business Leaders Advisory Council for Athabasca University and the faculty of the Science Dean's Council for the University of Calgary. Joy is also a fellow of the Canadian Academy of Engineers, an inductee of the Canadian Petroleum Hall of Fame, a past member of the Science, Technology and Innovation Council for Canada, and advisor to several NSERC chairs. With that, over to you, please, Joy.
Good morning, everyone. I did have some slides, but I can do this without. So I think we're good there, Alice, if that's not easily done here. So I think I'm really glad to be last here, and being last with this group is of course when we talk energy or fossil fuels following, ag following climate, you can be the big elephant in the room. So there's lots of elephants running around. And I think what's really super important is that regardless of the whichever scenario is put forward, we know that that fossil fuels are a part of whatever scenario comes forward. How do we make perfect, thank you. How do we make sure that that those fossil fuels that are produced are in fact without greenhouse gases? And I think it's really important to separate the production and use of greenhouse gases of fossil fuels separate from greenhouse gas emissions. And we can do that. And certainly CDL and others that are developing technologies are all about how do you separate those two to make sure that on a planet of 9 billion people, that you have the opportunity for all energy sources to be a part of that energy mix. So that in fact, what you are doing either in microsystems or macro systems for provinces or countries, you are pulling together at any one point those energy mixes that provide the lowest overall footprint, that are sustainable, affordable, and reliable. And that is incredibly important because that's what's going to unlock what's possible for all parts of the world and the globe. That's what allows food, that's what allows education, that's what makes really the world go round. And fossil fuels have an energy density that we can't ignore when it comes to the future of sustainability and reliable systems and affordable. So how do you do that? So if you could go to the next slide. In Canada, we're really fortunate that we already have that ESG lead. It's really important to us. And we know certainly the companies that work here that are part of that Canadian ecosystem are a part of the global energy force. What's different in the last 5 years? Find me an energy company that isn't going to sit here and tell you we're on board. Tell me somebody that isn't going to say this. Now, as a company ourselves, we actually have 4 operating, and since 2015, some of these carbon capture and storage facilities. I'm proud to say that these facilities have been a part, and the data that's been generated have been a part of what's fostering the hubs, what's happening, the commitment to carbon capture and storage that is around the globe that's happening right now, so that we can in fact separate the production of fossil fuels from the emission of greenhouse gases. Read into that the next generation of the use of fossil fuels from the separation or from the production of greenhouse gases as well, because that's what's coming. So next slide, please. How do we do that? And what also is different, certainly inside of Canada, we've been very, very fortunate. I've been, over 20 years in oil and gas, and, I'm obviously an engineer in the resource sector. We're a very collaborative space, and we just keep doing it more and more. And CRIN is connecting unusual players to come together, because it isn't just the academic side, as you well know, and or industry that needs to come together. But inside of the Clean Resource Innovation Network, we actually bring the entire ecosystem, which is not just those two groups or government funders. It is all of the entrepreneurs, it's students, it's young professionals, it's the financial system, which CDL gets. CDL is absolutely really not completely everything that's here, but it's a huge component, and it really gets how to pull those things together. Because if you don't pull the entire ecosystem together, you're not going to. So CRIN, Canada is the global leader in clean hydrocarbons from source to end use. You do not get there unless you actually have the entire ecosystem pulling together to make that happen. And lastly, what's really cool that we love about CDL, in the next slide, please. Oh, there is another one, maybe you did saying stop, Joy. Is actually the technologies that we're bringing forward as Canadian Natural. And, they are in the space of geothermal coming through here. That's another energy source enabled by oil and gas. We are methane detection, which is so important for everybody across whatever sector you're in. And just really cool things of converting natural gas again to hydrogen. And so the whole spectrum is here. CDL is in such an important component of it. Value what you do every day, and thank you for being a part of this.